Moore in the fourth pitcher of the ball game for the Angels. Jared Weaver to Vinny Castano to Fernando Salas. Now Moore in here in the eighth as he misses outside, ball one. Last year Moore had a 2.90 ERA in 59 innings as a rookie with the Angels.
On what was a greatly improved bullpen during the course of that year. I actually thought Jerry Dipoto, the general manager, should have gotten consideration for executive of the year the way he made that over.
Completely remade. Yeah. Fly ball to right field for out number one, where she'll mention that, you know, or one of the guys mentioned that for one of the few times recently, the Cardinals and Cubs come in with pretty similar expectations this year. That's in spite of the rough year the Cubs had last year, but it was the beginning of the new era. Lots of young players starting to make their way to the majors. Cincinnati had a tough year, and their pitching's a lot different. They've traded some pitchers away. Milwaukee led the division for most of the season, then faded in September. Pittsburgh made the postseason again. Lost in the wild card game to Madison and Bumgarner in San Francisco. And the Cardinals won the division, and so impressive and somewhat overlooked, amazingly, to play in the National League Championship Series 4 consecutive years in this era of baseball is a pretty special accomplishment. Ground ball to short for out number two. Guys, handicap this division for us right now. Who's winning it? How many playoff teams come out of the NL Central?
I've got two coming out of the Central. I've got the Pirates winning the division. I've got the Cardinals finishing second and making it as a wild card. I actually have the Pirates winning the World Series. I think this is a team that more and more year by year reminds me of the Cardinals in terms of the culture and the depth, and they get to build around maybe the best player in the National League, and Andrew McCutchen, with a young pitching staff that's backed up by a group of tremendous prospects. That, to me, is a really dangerous team. And I remember the Giants players before that wild card game saying to me they thought the Pirates were the best team in the National League as the playoffs started.
Throw down to second, runner back in. Show.
I think when you look around that division, if Joey Votto's healthy and Cueto is Cueto and the Reds are good, they can win the division. I mean, it's interesting to look. I think the team that will be challenged in that division to win the most would probably be the Cubs, just because of I have no idea how good these young players are going to be. I think their ceiling is high. I've done betting against the Cardinals. They're so good at player development, and they're a model everybody now is trying to emulate. And the Cubs, I think, are doing a great job of it. But I think this division over the next couple of years is going to be a whole lot of fun to watch beginning again.
Yeah. You talk about pitching depth, and boy, do the Cardinals have it. I mean, with guys like Jaime Garcia and Carlos Martinez and Marco Gonzalez competing for the fifth spot in a rotation.
Well, and you've been around the game long enough, Buster, too. You don't start a season with 5 big league starters. Right. You have to have 6 to 7. Yeah. And you have to have, to me, to compete, a 15 to 16-man staff. And that means you have to have guys in AAA that can come out and not just pitch, but can come up and win in the big leagues.
8-4, the Angels lead the Cubs, bottom of the 8th inning here in Mesa.
And you know another reason to pick the Pirates? Andrew McCutchen cut his hair. Did you guys see that?
I was born and raised a Pirate fan, so I'm ready for it.
You were born and raised a Pirate fan?
I was. My dad was born in Somerset, so I grew up with We Are Family.
Oh, Parker and Stargell and that whole group?
Omar Moreno catching the last out of 79.
Yeah.
Jumped up, threw my hand in the ceiling fan, and broke it.
What a different look for Andrew McCutchen this year.
I don't care what his hair looks like. The guy can just flat out play.
And you know what? By the end of the year, he will be the center of what could be the best outfield in baseball. You get Starling Marte in left, Gregory Polanco, who just looks like he's going to be a star. We'll see how he develops during the course of the year.
Hot shot to second, but that will end the inning. We're through 8. Here with Mesa, it remains the Angels 8 and the Cubs 3.
The Firestone Grand Prix of